Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Boop, 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 boop. I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me, or I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me, or I'm a man.
You know what? I talk to your mayor.
Chase dreams, I'll chase money. It's so funny, nothing you can take from me. I chase dreams, I'll chase money. I go dummy, everybody hate to love me. Why? I chase dreams, I'll chase money. It's so funny, nothing you can take from me. One deep, la sweet, la honey. I go dummy, everybody hate to love me.
Actually, I'm a very good lawyer.
Under my umbrella. Stomping the floppy shoes so hard, it'll lead to class delirious. You praying to stop so much, it's like you're having a religious experience. Despite all of your denials, I know that you know me and your crew. Ask your girl the last time she phoned me. Allegedly, just admit that even now you sing along. And even after I wreck you, you gotta bump my song. You should copyright loser because the dictionary cloned you. Crushed so hard, now my cleats own you. It's that umbrella guy, clutching the verbal hammer, locking you down in this inescapable syllable slammer. You wanna step up and try to oppose me? Yeah, you should ask anyone that really knows me. I'll take your bling, your girl, your dog, and move in your home, only to get out the verbal flamethrower and consume your plastic gnomes. You trip, you whip, you ride, your bride consumed by this mic hitter, just to drop them on the market to the highest bidder. It's that umbrella guy, live from the hat rack, with elbows that hit so hard you'll think it's a nuclear impact. I mean respecting you, please, that's the word you'll never earn. Yet another lesson you clowns have never learned. Along with standing tall in pride and repping values that you feel, and not fake morals you found inside your happy meal. I listen to you with your speaking style education, wondering if your parents bred with their relations. Wearing your big red nose and still thinking that you're a star, while you're forced to bump that umbrella guy inside your clown car. Yeah, it's that umbrella guy, broadcasting live to the masses. Timing out full, sorry we ran out of free passes. We gotta go further and not just expose you. Listen and believe royalty, we gotta depose you. Getting masked up because this flow is criminal. Dropping hammers so hard, they're subliminal. Unconsciously you want me to own you, as the parasol pope is set to dethrone you. And I'm out.
And I'm back in. What's up, kids? How's it going today? Welcome
to a Sunday edition. That's right, Sunday Fun Days. By the way, welcome to Father's Day, too, out there for all you wonderful folks. Yes, it is indeed Father's Day for all you folks that are either fathers or step up as fathers. You know, you can be that, too. All of you. It is a wonderful thing to be that. I want to show you something today that I actually got. I thought this was really funny. This was my gift from my oldest. She cracks me up with this. So she made me a stuffed animal. I woke up this morning, and when I woke up, I walked over to my computer chair, to sit down and get situated. When I did, this little guy here was in. Let me blow this up here so you can see it in the little letter underneath a little bit better. This little guy here was under there. This guy, see him there? He's been made out of a repurposed sock, apparently. She decided she would make him for me and said, "This is Todd." He's great at hugs. That's what that says there. Great at, you can see the at, Hugs. It was just written without any kind of backing on it, though. I thought that was funny. I was like, what does that say for a second there? It's covering up a little bit. It says he likes cool people. And he likes, and what is that? Cold rooms. He likes cold rooms, cigars. He likes cigars. He likes horror, any type of Coke. He dislikes a lot of people, warm places, and dizzy things. He's silly looking. Yeah, there, because he's almost 100. Happy Father's Day. That was my boy. So that was my Father's Day guy. He's hard to tell. He's got little legs on the front too. When he was looking at you straight up, he looks like he's like got 4 little legs sitting out. I thought it's very cute though. But that was my oldest made that. I thought it was pretty cute. Kind of cracked me up there. I couldn't believe yesterday when I saw some stuff that. Well, it doesn't really surprise me, but the ecosystem has decided to take aim at the Ohio lawyer. That's right. Sean Martin. Yeah, they've decided to attack him. Now, in doing that, when I say attack him, I'm talking about saying that he sabotaged the case. They would have already had it done. This is OBBB deciding that he would take aim at them. This is what they do. I don't know why anyone gets involved in these cases, because this is what they always do. Let me pull this up here. Give me a second. I'm trying to get situated. This stupid thing, man. Look, the way StreamYards is set up, it does not want to go back to normal. There we are. They added a new setup where it minimizes you and puts you in the corner. Look, like this. Look at all these weird little, it'll move me around, but typically it doesn't want to put me in the middle of the screen. It's so bizarre. Mary Ann Brown. Love the channel. Thank you. I appreciate you being here, by the way. And again, thank you for being here on a holiday. I always try to broadcast on holiday. I thought about taking the day off. I'm not sure we will or won't. Today I was going to do that one video talking about what happened in the courtroom. But, speaking of the courtroom, would you like to see something brand new? Like brand new that I believe is... Well, I'll let you decide on what's being pulled there. But some craziness that it potentially impacts what's going to come up with Stark. Would you like to see what's going on there? Check this out. So, Stark, as you know, we are situated where he is going to have to be part of a court hearing, right? And he has been doing everything in his power to get out of it. Well, suddenly today, Mr. Stark Now, this is a guy that on the 22nd, he was off in, he was, let me pull up the exact wording. I don't want to mess up the words here. So give me 1 minute. I want to read her exact words. The wife, she said on the 22nd, she added a picture too. It had some random people. So I don't want to pull this up because again, she added a picture from a courtroom. Which, interestingly, I'm curious. Here, they don't allow pictures of people sitting in court. And it looks like she was sitting in one of the aisles waiting. But she took a picture there. And she wrote in, "We are in Polk County Traffic Court, waiting for our client to be called." So on the 22nd of May, they were good to go with all of that. But since then, they've been talking about how they, can't get there, can't drive, can't move, gonna have a heart attack and all of that. I need to be let off this case. You got to release me now. Now you got to remember too, this stuff was supposed to originally come up in February now. All right. You have them. They brought the case, by the way. This is not a Jeremy Hale's case or anyone else that brought this. This was them that brought a case. Now, Stark's wife is posting about he's in an ambulance again. He's having trouble breathing. We're just talking about mere days away from having that. At this point, I would be pushing for a default judgment because they have done everything in their power to delay this case. I mean, just repeatedly, they have done everything in their power to delay it. They have pushed, pulled him hard. And again, this was not Jeremy Hale's case. These people thought that they could bring a case. They could do whatever they want. Actually, again, they told you the game. The game, again, if you read the messages that Shara posted, they originally, and I mentioned this before, but I do think that this, it really does bear repeating. They mentioned that they thought DJ Radis would be a weak spot for them. Remember the thumbnail litigation, it involved Larry Foreman, it involved DJ Radis, and of course it involved Jeremy Hales and your regular bunch. But when they added DJ Radis, they thought Radis would be somebody they would be able to easily sway into giving them some kind of settlement. Talking to them and letting them off the case. See, that's the plan a lot of these folks have. That's why I say don't talk to them because they're not approaching anyone in good faith. If anyone gets served with a lawsuit from them, take it all the way because they are playing a game. They're gaming people. But they thought that DJ Radis would be the weak spot. Again, they note this. Now, DJ Radis becomes everything but a weak spot. They can't even serve the man. It becomes a Where's Waldo kind of a joke. Where's DJ Radis? Because they could not serve him. But they thought, again, that they would. See, their idea was they could bring him in again. You could just give him any kind of admission. He can go out, say, I'm sorry or whatever. And then they could use that against everyone else. When that failed, they thought they would do that to DUI guy. They talked to DUI guy, and the DUI guy did not do what they wanted to do. So they decided they would end up dropping it. Now, in my opinion, the reason they ended up dropping it is because LMNOP was going to end up having to answer some questions with Scott Stark there as the only person to stop Randy from, asking everything important. You know how Bruce is about interruptions and you can't do this. Yeah, Scott Stark. They probably wouldn't have gotten that from him. So, last minute, they don't show up and then they drop the case. Only problem is, again, dates. They waited too long. They end up on the hook for potential sanctions. And this has been going on since February. They have been playing this game where, again, they can go on vacation. They can do anything except be held potentially accountable. When that rolls around, suddenly there are always issues. So right now, again, right before we have this come up, we have a post today where Scotty's having trouble breathing, but she doesn't go with him. She doesn't have a way back. So apparently, yeah, I don't know, getting an Uber or anything else, that's not an alternative. She lets him go by himself. Now, that in and of itself says something. You know, in every other post, it always talks about how she's going with him or doing this or that. But in this one, she doesn't. And to me, again, that says something. Is he out there? Can he get a doctor's note? Sure. Sure he can. But after a while, like I said, you're talking about this many months in, them writing about how they won't show up, they won't do this, they're not going to do that. I'd ask for default judgment against them. If they refuse to show up, refuse to give you any kind of justice, especially with everything else they've written. And again, they went on vacation. They're able to do all of that stuff. It is just this one thing they can't do. That would just, that would irritate the crap out of me. So that is your brand new thing. This just posted about 3 hours ago, by the way. You know, I went and made sure, looked it up because I saw people talking about it. Yep. This indeed, it posted about 3 hours ago, came up on today. So, the gaming, man, the gaming there. So you have that. That is a brand new thing. You also, in the last day, you've had a couple of things that, well, I think they're kind of fascinating too. Like the attack. By the way, check this out. I thought this was funny. So all the sock puppet accounts. Oh, by the way, apparently the new heavy narrative that the ecosystem is leaning into is that legally libs sing it. Meep, beep, beep, beep. Legally libs, apparently their new narrative though is how she just came in neutrally. Again, the 16th. They've leaned into this heavily, the entire ecosystem. She didn't start posting any of the ho-dunk hillbilly stuff until the 16th as a response. Now, I posted some stuff yesterday, showed you, but here's a funny thing is they all know that those dates are garbage. How do they know that? Well, people like, say, Paint Chips. They wrote articles on it. That's right. Paint Chips himself. Look, we have videos. We have articles on the Ho-Dunk Hillbillies. Now, I'm covering this. I didn't pull it up because he put some pretty gross stuff in some of these images. He has himself, I never understood this, by the way. He put his face on a pig, and he put Jeremy Hale's face on a pig. And he's standing behind the Jeremy Hale's pig, and he's, you can just imagine what the little piggies are doing. And I thought, well, what's he trying to say there? Is he talking about his prison love life? I mean, I'm kind of confused on what the message is there. He also, he decides he's going to go after Rosalind Duke. And again, some of the messaging is pretty bizarre. It's pretty gross. So like I say, I'm covering this at a certain point there. But you can see on 5/9, we're talking about many days before the date that they have decided that they are going to say this stuff happened. There's your term. There's one of your screenshots for your video down here on the bottom left. Yeah, kind of blows their whole narrative out of the water. And these keep coming up. Again, the entire timeline for everything that they've done, it's evaporated. Not to mention all of the sock puppet accounts. The sock puppet accounts are out of freaking control. I cannot believe how many of them there are. On top of all of the ones just with regular names, there's the anonymous, quote unquote, anonymous accounts. They're called anonymous whatever. Now they allow nicknames on Facebook too. And certain ones, well, let's just say there's definitive proof that they are legal lips as well. And some of the stuff that they put up, yeah, that's the kind of stuff that gets you, it causes you problems. So this victim narrative that they've tried to latch on to, I mean, they know is bullshit. But anybody that has been watching for the last few weeks knows it's BS too. You weren't talking about some neutral examiner of a case that popped in, and you're talking about somebody that right from go created videos and platforms to attack people, doxed. So there's proof too. I'm not going to say who this person was, but also one of those accounts doxed a certain individual that was part of the Facebook setup because they didn't like what they had to say. So they participated in out and out doxing them. I mean, it's wild stuff, and has the audacity to continue to play the victim. It's crazy. Now, while all of that's happening, again, the people who they can't get in line, people like, well, let's say Sean, for example, Sean Martin, that would be the Ohio lawyer. Now, BBB has had quite a bit to say about them lately. In fact, I mean, here is a BBB talking about them saying with the Ohio case, Ohio, they would have been able to get rid of all the way by now if it weren't for Sean Martin, because Sean Martin was a saboteur. That's right. They're trying to say yet again, the idea that people are somehow working for Jeremy Hales. Yeah, that's what I mean when you think about it. What is let's look up the word saboteur. Let's get the actual definition for it, So anyone out there that maybe doesn't understand that, let's see, saboteur definition. One second here. So a person who engages in sabotage, of course, let's look up sabotage though. All right. So sabotage, that would be someone who deliberately, now remember that's a key word, deliberately destroys, damages, or obstructs. So the idea that Sean Martin deliberately messed up the Ohio case. I mean, again, I'm sure Sean Martin is not, he's been very professional with the stuff here. But Sean Martin, I would love to see him decide he wants to go after Bruce. Because that's probably somebody that he doesn't want to tangle with. He's been pretty nice about it. Hasn't brought him up yet. Because again, he hasn't, I'm supposing, I haven't talked to him about it at all. I'll make sure to send these over to him, though, just to see. But I would love to show this guy recruits him into this mess. He gets into Ohio, and I'm sure when he saw what actually had happened, he'd be like, oh my God. Anybody that's actually looked at the evidence against these people, you got to be like, oh my Lord, this is absolutely a mess, because all the buzzwords fall away when you have to represent somebody and you have to see what's up against them. But this is what he had to say, and this isn't the only thing he had to say about it either. But he says, quote, the Ohio case, including the contempt. So he's also blaming Sean for the contempts too. Both contempts there. Will be dismissed whenever a lawyer files a motion. Now, again, you have another instance of a third party that does not have anything to do with Ohio getting involved there. Worse, and this needs to be reported, by the way, and I hope every fucking body on the internet reports this, because they should. They are fundraising to go after the Ohio protective order. Now, that has already been decided. And like I said before, if you fundraise after somebody has been found guilty of a crime, that is not just a violation of TOS. That's a big problem. And that's what they're doing. They're fundraising to go after the protective order. And it says that. It absolutely says that. That account should be suspended for it, Bruce. You know better. You 100% know better than that. And yet, but again, they blame it all on Sean Martin. They say Sean Martin should have done this. He should have been able to get this all dismissed, but Sean Martin turned out to be a saboteur. Huh. Now, you know, Mouthpiece Boy here, he's also speaking for LP and JC. I bet, you know, this is the problem with working with these folks. In anything, like I said, they have turned on everybody. Anybody that has ever tried to help them out. They turn on them. It doesn't matter what you've tried to do, how nice you've tried to be about something. They eventually, on a long enough timeline, seem to turn on everybody. And Bruce is like that timeline sped up. He also goes further than this, too. He says, and I will quote here, give me a moment. He says that he goes further than that. He says, and I am going to show you the screenshot with it, that Sean and Josh, they have committed malpractice. That's right. So it goes further than just character assassination. It goes further than just saying that you didn't do your job or you were a mole for someone or whatever else. This goes to the level that now, because they didn't get the outcome that they wanted there, that he had somehow committed malpractice. Oh, man. I mean, they're going after his reputation and hard, and they're shopping it. I get that that he wants to protect not talking about his clients, but I mean the idea of improper. Here's what this means, by the way. Malpractice: improper, illegal, or negligent professional activity or treatment. Improper, illegal, or negligent professional activity or treatment. Huh. So that goes beyond, again, character assassination. That goes after everything that you do. This guy took on something after being talked into it because I'm supposing he was sold a bill of goods. I actually saw the live stream where he was sold the bill of goods, where, you know, he was told over and over again that these people, they're victims this and victims that. It goes so far forward. And then I also saw all the complaints that BBB put out there talking about how Sean wouldn't talk to him about the case. He wouldn't include him. Essentially, you know, this was the feeling I got from it. Again, this is just my point of view on it. I haven't talked to Sean. Sean, again, has been very professional about it. But BBB seems to like to control the people that get on these cases. We have seen that multiple times now. He talks about recruiting and doing all of this other craziness. Well, I don't get the feeling that Sean is somebody that would allow you to puppeteer them and pull the strings. You know, I mean, this is somebody I know online, and it's quite fascinating because Sean also being on different shows, like I go on Flashcast, and he'll pop up there sometimes, and he has never so much as mentioned that case. He never brings it up. You know, he keeps all of that. He keeps it to himself because he's protecting. I'm sure the way things went, that he has a certain opinion. It's probably not a good one, I imagine. But BBB is not protected under that. So him trying to get a fight with Sean, that's not a fight he wants. Because the people that'll come in as part of that wave, holy shit. See, BBB thinking that he can bring in these losers like fucking paint chips and Darth Touch. There's an element of the internet that makes them look like fucking babies in a stroller. And he is just tempting that element to come in. Yes. And if they come in, oh my God, man. I mean, he thinks he's some kind of big crime boss the way he acts. I'm telling you, he thinks he's pulling all the fucking strings out there. He'll end up with more than he wanted if he continues that. And Sean, if he starts talking about this stuff, especially making fun of BBB, that won't go the way that he wants. I guarantee you it won't go the way that he wants. It'll go very badly. And he's not going to be able to intimidate someone like that. You know, he may be able to bully and intimidate specific people around there, but this is somebody that just doesn't give a shit. So he may motivate him to come after him. And if he does, that'll be pretty funny to watch. I'm keeping an eye on it, but I'll definitely send that over because accusing somebody of malpractice, accusing them of actively sabotaging their clients is pretty jacked up. But again, that's what BBB does. Just all the time too, baby. Just all the time. It's so bizarre, man. Check this out. So on top of that, like I said, they decided that they would do a fundraiser. And I want you to see the quote on that. Because again, they tell you straight up that they are third party attacking that. They're attacking victims. And this is not allowed in any way, shape, or form. This is called the Ohio Lawyer Retainer Fund. And the quote on it blows my mind. Because it says, this is to raise money to hire a layer. By the way, a layer. Good job there, buddy. Aren't you the guy that mocks everybody if they have typos? I mean, what a loser. He does. He used to sit on Facebook and be like, your punctuation. Oh, the way that you type. he would quite literally do that kind of stuff. It's so funny for him. And be like, actually, that word is lawyer. Oh my God. But what he says here, this is a problem. Like I said, this is a violation of the terms of service for PayPal, any platform out there. You can fundraise for lawsuits, but you cannot fundraise to knock out a protective order. You can't fundraise to go after a conviction and try to overturn. You can't do this shit. This has been established multiple times. What he is doing it is definitely against that, but it is also, this is 100% third-party harassment of an individual because he's hiring a layer in Ohio to finally get that protective order thrown out, including the contempt. So he's admitting he is taking aim at a protective order that has already been established. It has been violated multiple times, and still he is fundraising on it and attacking it. If these people have not proven by now that they are duplicitous scumbags, I don't know how to prove it anymore. I mean, again, you think about a protective order that is set up, and we're not talking about some automatic protective order either. You know, I'm not talking about a protective order out there that you might get like say you have a divorce or even someone accuse you. I mean, again, we're not talking about the first layer of it. We're talking about something that has happened repeatedly. And the judge has been like, yo, you need to stop this. And instead of stopping, they've recruited people to actively go out. And they lie to the public about it, by the way. They lie and tell you that it's not violations. They're doing. And this 100% is a huge problem there. Like I said, that should 100% be reported and flagged. I do not encourage flagging of just random stuff. But this, like I said, this is going after somebody for being a victim of something that has been established. They never stop. I mean, just the insanity to it. It never stops. God, man. When I saw that come out from yesterday, I thought, are you kidding me, man? Also attacking another lawyer. I thought that was amazing as well. I'm waiting for the refiling of the discovery documentation too. Let's look at that. We've got some time today. Let's actually look at that document, okay? Because again, this has to be refiled, but it won't take any effort to refile it at all. We did not look at this, and this is quite fascinating. There's again 10 items that went along with this too. Give me 1 minute here. Let me straighten this out. This was the second motion to compel the production of documents and motion for better responses from the defendant, Preston. So you notice it's talking about, again, pursuant to the court's order, February 26, 2025, that would be document 88, and Federal Rules of Procedure 37, Rule 26.1b. The local rules, Plaintiff Hale respectfully requests that the court issue an order compelling LMNOP to fulfill her discovery obligations, including by searching for or either producing or justifying the withholding of all materials in her possession, custody, or control responsive to the request for production. She didn't turn over shit. That's what it's telling you here. She turned over nothing. This is what I kept saying. We saw them. They told us actively they weren't going to turn over anything. And in fact, you've had LMNOP talking about deleting emails and more. She's been talking about this stuff live. You have to be the dumbest human beings on the planet. I mean, does it not blow your mind sometimes to see some of this? If you are withholding information, destroying things actively, you don't brag about it, okay? That's a big no-no. You should never brag about that. But they have been bragging about it. It blows my mind. You know? Liz, by the way, here, let me pull that up, what you just said here. Now, with this, Liz, it said a lot of fundraisers, they don't allow for setups for legal fees. Now, some of them do allow that, but what they don't allow, after a case has been decided, you think about this. If a woman had gotten a protective order, for example, because she has a stalker, yeah, every protective order is viewed the same. But if somebody has a protective order, they have a stalker going after them. Do you think that an app wants to take on any kind of liability in case something terrible happens with that? No, of course they don't. Now, the same rules apply to Jeremy Hales, only people don't see it the same way when you talk about it because big guy, you know, man, period. People don't look at protective orders the same, but the same rules apply. They don't want something to happen, and they don't want legal liability that goes with it because they are allowing somebody to fundraise to go after a victim. That is not allowed. You are not allowed to do this. She is using a third party to go out and do fundraise. He is also aimingly chasing a fucking lawyer in here. He is actively pursuing lawyers for a case that doesn't exist. He is doing it, not her. That's a problem in and of itself too. None of that is allowed. So it is well beyond, you know, you can again, Liz, it's a good comment because some places do not allow, period. But some do allow you to go out and to build a defense, you know, like to set up and to crowdfund that. But after the fact, they don't allow you to go in. PayPal for damn sure doesn't allow this. I have seen it taken down before. I mean, that's crazy. And they know better. But never having any consequences for their action, they don't give a shit. It's so messed up. Oh no. Just J-Hip. I got another notice today. Am I in this thing or not? I'm confused. You're not actually, J-Hip. Here, let me pull this up real quick. J-Hip, you're not. Ray-Hip is though. You know, Ray-Hip is in it, unless there's a brand new document that I haven't seen today. The only party that was still in the game was Ray-Hip, not you. Let me see. Give me a minute. Crap. I'm trying to open something up here real quick. What was funny is I had an old StreamYards I hadn't closed out all the way. So when I was flipping through things, I went to open the wrong StreamYards one. I was thinking, wait a minute, that's not it. Let's see. Yeah, so the newer ones, if you look at it, unless there's been a change, check this out. There's Ray-Hip. So the John Doe Ray-Hip is there. But remember, this was actually, this was remedied in the past. So J-Hip was added, then J-Hip was taken away, but Ray-Hip has now been re-added, which was taken away. So you have not been added. Unless there's been a document that has re-added you to this, you're not there. But the clown show that she's been on, she is not, regardless of whether you've been added there or not, you have not been served. You do not accept electronic service. Make her come and serve you. She's not going to serve. Again, this clown show that she's put together, the liability that she will take on will be extraordinary. People will chew her up and spit her out as far as this stupidity. So if she really gets to the point where she tries to serve somebody, what I think she's going to try to do is she's going to try to make it sit there for a while with Jeremy Hale's name on it. She's been trying to get attention, but you notice she still hasn't moved to serve Jeremy Hale's. So I don't think that that's going to happen anytime soon, personally. But she's been bringing your name. She's bringing me up in it, too. And I'm like, put up or shut up. But you do, like I said, I'll go out, I'll find somebody. You add me to that. Especially this bullshit that she's trying to use as quote-unquote proof. Please, man. Everything. What's really funny is that this whole crying fit about I'm so neutral, I've never done anything. It doesn't work when you have some of the most whacked out fucking videos attached to your name. But anyway, back to this there. She's being told, this is again, Preston is being told that, well, let me take that back. The court is being asked if they will tell Preston to fulfill her request for production. That would be the first and second request for production. And providing a sworn declaration regarding the preservation efforts the defendants have taken, all locations and data that the defendant used to communicate about relevant topics, and the searches the defendant has conducted to locate them. The plaintiff also requests court award attorney fees for the cost of this motion and any additional sanctions the court deemed appropriate. The court better get on its game, by the way, because these are, right now, we are talking about some absolutely ridiculous attempts not to turn over any information. They're saying we don't have anything. We don't have anything we can turn over whatsoever. They were told by the court, no uncertain terms, hey, you've got to produce this, you've got to produce that. And they're like, we don't have any of that. Really? So Randy's like, hey, wait a minute. What efforts did you take to look for this? What efforts did you take to preserve any kind of information? We need some, we need something about that. So For nearly 137 days, both defendants have avoided fulfilling their most basic discovery obligations, including by refusing to search for and produce all responsive documents, even after the court ordered that they do so. You know, it notes right here the appropriate time to make legally proper objections is when responding to discovery requests. It is not in response to a motion to compel or an amended response is filed after the motion to compel. Now, in good faith, plaintiff has attempted since December of 2024 to resolve these discovery disputes without court intervention. So we are talking about over 6 months still sitting around, jerking around with these idiots who will not turn over even the most basic items. And you notice, again, Element OP and JC should be pissed off because Bruce left them in the lurch here. Not only did they not turn over anything, but he didn't give them any reason why. He was just like, we're not going to turn over anything. You can't do that. You have to turn over something. Oh my God. So dumb, man. So dumb. So, while the parties were able to narrow certain issues, so they did talk about things over the 90-minute phone conference, they remained at an impasse regarding defendants' continued objections made in their amended responses that was sent January 21st, 2025, defendants' refusal to search for and produce all responsive materials. Again, they won't even look for the materials. It's like, hey, that's a disputed thing, despite the court order that they must do so. And the defendant's refusal to detail their efforts to preserve, collect, and search for potentially responsive data in the locations that contain such materials. Both defendants have refused to state whether or not they diligently searched for, and are still refusing to produce any materials responsive to 2 of the 4 sets of requests for production. Now, for those, defendants continue to make objections in their amended responses. For 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 9, and 17, see Exhibit 3 and 4. Now, for your request for production, again, it notes, if you don't know what's been asked for, let's look at these quickly, okay? So request for production 1, all documents and communications related to any allegations in this matter, including but not limited to the communications you have had with any person or entity named in this complaint or named in plaintiff's responses in opposition to your motion for summary judgment. So, turn over your communications. Turn them over. Let's see them. Oh, by the way, Jay, thanks for the 10 there. Everything she said about our conversation's a lie. I'm going to address that Wednesday. Good. I want to see that, you know. This is a planned spin that I'll destroy her on. You can share the Lickman email. Oh, I definitely will for that. I'll definitely talk about it for sure. You need to, though, because I mean, she's out and out lying. And what she's doing is not just lying about your communications, but this is why I don't show grace to people like this. I understand, like I said, for Jay, I understand why you had that. If me and you need to have a live conversation about this one day, man, because I understand why you do it. But see, you showing good faith towards someone, that actually opened the door for them to showcase bad faith. And after a while, after you've dealt with people like this time and again, I don't give them any openings. You know, 'cause, like, you worry about their mental health, you know, and understandably, I can see that. The problem is they have used that excuse to attack and try to ruin untold amounts of people, including their own families. They have sued their own freaking families. They have sued people that have turned to them for assistance in the past. They've done everything. And again, you know, when it comes down to it, the excuse they have is mental health. Mental health is not a it's not a band-aid excuse to, or a dam that holds back any consequences. That's the way I imagine it a lot of times. You know, these people, they use it that way. It's just like paint chips did. Paint chips used mental health, or tried to anyway, as a dam to hold back the flood of consequences because his actions were so unseemly. She's the same way. I mean, she's out there right now while complaining and trying to play this this victim game. She's using untold amounts of sock puppets. And what really blows my mind is the stuff that she's taking aim at Hales for. She has some skeletons in her closet that are fucking crazy. She has set the stage saying it is okay to do that. And again, she's gone out and said it's okay for other people to do that with him, but it's not okay for people to talk about anything with her. She is a victim if it happens to her. But she's some kind of quote-unquote warrior. They love to call themselves that. If they do it to Hales. The hypocrisy is astounding. Me, I live to wreck fools. I do. I live to wreck them. Anybody, any fucking hater you run across in mind, they may tell you some crazy fucked up lie story, but one thing you can take out of the truth of it, if you listen to them, they whine about how mean I am. And that's because I live to wreck a fool. And these people deserve it. And they will get it. I am in the middle of interviews and fact-finding right now. And some of the things that I have found are crazy. And they have told you that everything is game. Everything is good to go, baby. So that, you know. And you notice, again, the ecosystem never talks about Lynette Preston and John Cook. It has nothing to do with them. It always becomes about them. They have made this about themselves and trying to advance any kind of weird, whatever agenda that they have, marching it forward and trying to pick Jeremy Hill's pocket. I think it's gross. So, anyway. Now, request for production too. Any communications that you have had with any of the following people? You have Russell Meeks, Marla Hughes, Limmerman. Again, you know some of this has happened because you've seen them publicly talk about this stuff. And they still have communication. We've seen communication leak behind the scenes. So for them to say that none of this stuff exists is absolute garbage. Again, Shara has shown you conversations that they don't want you to know exist. They have not turned over from the sound of it. So, that's going to be a real problem for them. You know, a lot of other ones exist too. But also in here, Jeremy Hales, Madam Mayor, George, basically Granger and Granger, Amanda Martin, Rhett Cunningham, Mary DeGroot. I cannot believe, by the way, that they talk about Mary DeGroot with their narrative, you know, oh, all this causes her stress and everything. And then you have Fats over there talking about how he's trying to interview her. It's like, are you kidding me? It blows my mind sometimes. Oh, she can't deal with this stuff. By the way, I'm going to try to interview her. It's like, what? You're going to what now? Oh, my Lord. Anna West, Reno, Stuart Stewart, Steve Warm, Tom Collins, Zim, and so on. I mean, you see all the names that are on here. I don't want to have to read like this many names. You see everybody on here. Basically, oh, look, Stupa, and more. Any documents relating to any statements attributed to you in the complaint or the plaintiff's response and opposition to your motion for summary judgment, including but not limited to all documents and communications relating to any investigations into the truth or falsity of any statement attributed to you in the complaint or in plaintiff's response and opposition. So anything basically, if you've anything looking into the truth or falsity of that, let's see it, any of your investigations. All documents, communications of which you are aware that refute any statement attributed to you in the complaint or in the plaintiff's response and opposition to your motion for summary judgment about plaintiff. Now, again, if you look at these too and you think, like some of these, see, you'll see this in other cases too. Lawyers throw a very wide net and they expect somebody to come in and argue this stuff down. That's typically how the game is played. Bruce played this game terribly. And some of these are way overbroad, in my opinion. I've said this before, but it's Bruce's job to argue them down. He didn't. The screw up in that, you got to realize the ecosystem is never taken him to task for that, because they complain about how the judge allowed overly broad requests for productions. The judge didn't allow it. What the judge said was that Bruce tried to put in boilerplate objections. He tried to copy and paste like he does all the time. He tried to copy and paste in law points saying, well, this or that. And again, it was the same argument for everything. And the judge was like, that argument is no argument. Therefore, all of this stands. It's Bruce's, it's not Randy's fault that those went through. It's not the judge's fault that those went through. It is shitty counsel's fault that went through. You have to be a laughing stock of a lawyer not to be able to knock some of these down. So when you see something, you think, man, that is overbroad, because some of these are overbroad. I very much have said that from go, but that was Bruce's responsibility to point out the why and the wherefore and to whittle them down. And if he can't do that on basic requests for production, then what kind of a shitty lawyer is he? You have to be some kind of a punchline of a lawyer not to be able to do that. But of course, he spends all of his time, he and hawing online, crying about the other counsel that's been out there, when he himself has been the biggest detriment, in my opinion, to those folks. If he truly believed LP and JC, he has been the thing that will probably cost them. It will definitely cost them money, but it may well cost them a huge case. Because any argument that you would have put forward to try to knock down federal case one, he botched in big time. They got the legal counsel they paid for because they paid nothing. And they got nothing. Well, actually, they got worse than nothing. They would have probably been better off being pro se, because some of the damage that he did, holy God. I could not believe that a lawyer could not handle some of the basic items. It's just terrible. I expect better. It's like listening to the law equivalent of a flat earther some days. It's like, are you kidding me? But he spends all of his time like crying and moaning about people like Sean. Again, that's the past, son. And he has to spend all of his time trying to work on his little schemes and fucking scams to try to trip up Jeremy Hales, instead of focusing on what is in front of him, the case. He was out here writing everybody and their mother, spending hours and hours online. Oh my God, anything except. And he knows that. That's why at the end of the day, the ecosystem has worked 10 times as hard to keep the pressure off of him. Because I would hope that the people that, again, if you want to back LP and JC, you and I vehemently disagree on what we see with this. But if you do, and that's your opinion, you've arrived at, that's your opinion, you arrived at. Thing is, though, effective counsel That is another matter entirely. You can't say, I believe this, therefore everything is okay. If you think this was effective counsel, if you think that this guy, again, he didn't get in and do his best effort. This guy did damage because he acted like a third grader in there. Every time the judge would decide something, he would argue and pitch a fit, and he would pitch fits in documentation about Randy, and ultimately he ended up withdrawing out of it. Now, he and the others, they keep saying that he's working behind the scenes. Oh, well, that's just great. That's just peachy. But you know, the problem there is that you've got a case a judge is saying is going to go forward. They have not done themselves any favors by not turning over anything. If they think that they're going to be able to eliminate this case, them not turning over anything, especially with Jeremy Hale, he has very good record keeping from what we've seen. He's produced and showcased this stuff on many shows. He has showcased it with posts, and other people too keep up with that. And I'm sure they send it. I see a lot of people on what they post. So all that stuff exists and so much more. There's probably stuff. I know there's stuff I've forgotten. Good Lord. Not coming off of anything really. What a mess. What a stupid mess. And they've probably been told that they're going to get away with that. That's okay. You can do that. And you can't. You can't. And most people understand that, but not them. By the way, appreciate you being here. And again, happy Father's Day. I hope all of you out there, all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. And also, I want to give a shout out to all those people who step in for fathers. Like, my mom raised me more than my biological dad. My biological dad more sat on the sideline. So my mom raised me as a father like that. And I had my stepfather, you know, who was a great person. But my mom was my primary there. So any Father's Day, I would also give her something because I always appreciated her. So you folks like that, you know, again, love to you guys too. Now, if you want to tell people we are live on a Sunday, because it's a weird time slot, 2,300 of you managed to find us anyway. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. If you would like, if you check your subscriptions, if you would like to, and if you'd like to go further than that, if you'd like to go to Ye Old Breadsticks, it is much appreciated. I saw the ecosystem bragging, by the way, because finally, over on 2Ls, they managed to get a whole whopping 10 super chats. They managed to break that one day. All they had to do is another round of character assassination. It's all they have to do. Again, you know, third party violates some mofo and crazy stuff, man. But anyway, document 6, or request 6 rather. All documents, communications, which you are aware that refute any statement attributed to you in the complaint, Number 7, all documents and communications sufficient to identify all usernames, handles, aliases, and other identifiers you've ever used on social media. Now, they have quite a few of those, just to note, but they have not, not turning those over is crazy. 9, all engagement letters and invoices. So, and documents otherwise sufficient to identify all attorneys with whom you've had an attorney-client relationship in connection with any civil litigation to which you are a party, and or any civil or criminal litigation, grand jury testimony, etc., etc. And 17, for each fact, a witness you're expected to testify at the trial of this matter. All documents reviewed by, prepared, etc. Anything that you use to remind you of what happens. Now, moreover, the defendants did not appear to have ever engaged in collection, professional or otherwise, of all potential sources of responsive information to the following requests for production, which are therefore insufficient. That would be 5, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 18, 19, and 20. So they never tried to collect anything on those. Defendants have not confirmed whether they ever searched any of their own social media or email accounts or engaged in any search of any of their text messages or messaging applications. Defendant's responses to number 4, that would be all documents and communications concerning the steps you have taken to preserve those, is that, quote, there are no responsive documents. Oh my God. So their idea, again, read this. They're saying there are no documents. So what they were told to, what have you done to preserve any documents or communications relevant to this lawsuit, including the documents and communications responsive to this request? So what have you done to preserve anything? Well, there's none. Are you fucking kidding me? You're going to try that? Oh my God, man. The flagrant way that they try to operate. This judge better step on that. Again, I have no faith in this court until it does something. It has allowed these people to run wide open and to act like absolute fools. But we'll see. I mean, this is flagrant as you can get. Now, stated in the plaintiff's first motion to compel, that would be 52. The defendant's discovery responses stated that each defendant will only produce at some stated date the texts that each defendant still saved. Now, see again, 1, 3, 4, and 6. This is very convenient. So if the defendant says, I didn't save it, it's gone. Now, in their amended responses to the same request, defendant again lodged objections to 1, 3, and 6 and produced nothing for number 2. This means defendant's decision to opt out of meaningfully participating in the discovery process, it violates the federal rules. This court ordered dated February 26, 2025, and necessitates the court enter the relief that plaintiff respectfully requests here. And that's messed up. Not turning over anything. Now, the background, since the court's order for February 26, 2025, instructing the defendant that they may not object to any amended discovery responses, defendant still maintains the objections. So they still are objecting, even though the court said, you can't do that, and have produced nothing, despite being advised that if defendants have responsive documents in their possession, custody, or control, then they should provide such. Now, May 20th, plaintiff just sent defendant's counsel a deficiency letter, which specifies even further the deficiency responses. A copy being attached again is 7 here. As of today, there have been no further responses, and they refuse to engage in any diligent search. Despite plaintiff is seeking this information since November the 12th, I thought they wanted this information out there. I thought that they really wanted to be able to produce this. I thought they kept saying that if they were just given the chance or the opportunity. Hey, by the way, Dwayne, I see you there. Did you know you made it into to Lips's filings? Did you see that? I don't know if you saw that with the with the new information there. Oh my goodness. I didn't know if you caught that. 1 minute. you're in the slideshow of production. That's what I was calling it the other day. Essentially all of this stupid though that they've pulled forward, they're playing with. They threw you in. Oh, you haven't seen it? Okay. Well, you're not, it's nothing big in there, but it's always funny. I always like a shout out when I'm in something. And it's like a nothing burger either. It's not anything that all you did is drop some memberships, but apparently these broke ass losers, I guess that causes them a problem too. So she included you dropping those in. So welcome to the current case, baby. Let me see. I gotta find the document real quick. It's what they're all they all label the same way. She produced the timeline. These are all like labeled up as exhibits. So the way they named here, let me show you what I'm talking about here real quick. Okay, so 1 second. I was rolling it all the way forward here. This is what I'm talking about. Then we'll go back to our document. I saw Dwayne there. It's like, man, did you see this? So here in this document talking about, J-Hip, who again is not part of it. It's so bizarre. You know, they want to take shots at Germany. And again, actually what she did in this is clear some of the accusations that she made about Jeremy Hale. She actually did him a favor with putting this stuff in there because she was trying to say that he called her disbarred. Well, this doesn't. He said, amazing how felons, plural, disbarred and wig-wearing, Botox, botched plastic surgery people flock together. Well, that doesn't say one is or isn't. Now, you can say which is which, but that doesn't say she's any of those things. Somebody else here that is not included said, disbarred Florida attorney, got added there. But as you go forward, though, look at that. Dwayne, look too. She added that in for what reason? There's no purpose to adding you here. Like the way it's set up, there's no real purpose. She just screenshots you in there. So welcome. Your crime is giving memberships. Dun dun dun. Oh my goodness. Here, let me see. I blow that up real good. So there you go. You can keep it as you can screenshot it. You'll be like, that's my first case I've been involved in from the ecosystem that I know of. I don't know if you've been included in anything else. I haven't seen you in anything yet. But oh my God. And you know what's funny too? This statement here about the disbarred Florida thing is a question mark. So that's not actually a statement of fact either. It is, so this is? That's a question. So were they trying to use this with Parcher's Homestead? Yeah, that's not. I wonder if they know they got included there too. There's one other thing too. Just 1 second here. Let me see. What was it? Oh, about the revenge corn. She kept saying that Hales and others said that she created, but you notice rebroadcast. That's even the word here. So she's destroyed certain narratives in her case with their own quote unquote proof. Plus she just added people in. It's so ridiculous. I thought you might find that to be funny though. Like I said, just adding random screenshots. Oh, I swear, if they come after any of you, if they try, first of all, the things they would have to do to make that work are stupid. You know, to strip away and to be able to serve, it's ridiculous. But if she comes after people, especially, none of you are going to stand alone. You will get lawyers and you will get damages. I want her to understand that she will not fucking intimidate a person out there. That will not happen. I guarantee it will not happen. I will sit here and I will fucking shield day and night if I have to get 20 freaking lawyers if need be. Because I'm telling you, the anti-slap, what she's tried, anti-slap would destroy her. I don't think she'll ever even serve a person, but let's just say she did. It wouldn't go very far. Give me 1 second. All right, let's continue there. I thought that was fascinating. It's like, why include his gifted memberships? I don't even get it. So unspun, man. So weird. All right, so let's continue. Despite seeking information since November the 12th, 2024. By the way, if you're looking for this, again, this will be refiled because the judge said essentially it needs to be refiled. So, but document 148, it'll be another document later, but you know, it'll have a different attachment. It's funny too, because John Cook, he admitted that Randy did communicate with him. He posted that in one of the chats the other night. So if they want to play the I've never been communicated with, yeah, they admitted it. That's pretty funny. They tell on themselves all the time. It's amazing. So despite that, they've never turned over anything. There has not even been a response to the plaintiff's first deficiency letter. So they didn't even respond to the original letter for deficiencies. Plaintiff served their second set of requests for production on February 24th. As of today, nothing has been produced, and there has been no response by defendants to the second request for production. Exhibit 8, Exhibit 9. Accordingly, March 27, 2025, plaintiff sent second deficiency letter, which is attached to this too. Memorandum of law. The Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 37E provides for certain forms of relief when a party, quote, fails to take reasonable steps to preserve electronically stored information, quote, that should have been preserved in anticipation or conduct of litigation. Now, under federal rules, quote, the presumption is that the responding party must bear the expense of complying with discovery requests, including when discovery is stored electronically. Now, when a party fails to obey the discovery order, this authorizes the court to issue further just orders, including the imposition of sanctions, such as, quote, directing that the matters embraced in the order or other designated facts be taken as established for purposes of their action, quote, prohibiting the disobedient party from supporting or opposing designated claims or defenses, or from introducing designated matters into evidence, or, quote, treating as contempt of court the failure for order. So they can be held into contempt for playing this game. I mean, that's how bad it gets for them. I mean, they are playing chicken again with a judge that is not thrilled to be messing around. They haven't turned over anything despite being asked repeatedly since November 2024. So we are talking about many, many months. That's crazy. 1 second. Hold on for 1 second. I can clean my throat. All right. I had to clear my throat. Sorry about that. Jay Nones. If she serves me, I will destroy her at all costs. I won't play. That's good. That's good. That's the way it needs to be. I see that hardness coming up. Again, you know how, like, when somebody first starts messing around with people like this, you know, when you first step into especially the YouTube playground, I think you have I think you have a better feeling about what humanity is. You know, like you think that people are maybe a little bit more decent underneath, but you find over time that most people are not worth messing with like that. And I'm talking about the clowns that we mess with. I'm not talking about just regular people out there. I'm not talking about the folks like in the chat. I'm talking about the people, the clown car. You know, you want to think, well, maybe those folks are misguided. No, there's a lot of terrible fucking human beings out there. And a lot of these people, again, when you look through their histories, you find that they're very bad people. And they do anything to try to silence anyone from ever discussing it. The things, though, because I'm impervious to all that. What are you going to do? You're going to make up some other crazy shit about me, man. Everything that's been made up about me online, who cares? You know, the stuff, they've gone to the point of making up such horrible stuff that I would, if any of that were true, I'd be in prison, you know, but of course not, so it doesn't matter. So what are they going to do? Make up more stuff? Oh, whoop-dee. Who cares? You know, can't find any real court records or anything, so let's go a different way. Because like I said, the reality is I've never been arrested. I had a speeding ticket one time. But besides that, I've not had any problems there. Many of these people, some of the skeletons they have in their closet are pretty bad. I think exposing them for who and what they are is a lot more fun. I'm not one to take you to court, but I definitely will take a wrecking ball to you. You know, and I'm in the middle of that, by the way. I'm right now in the middle of that. So they can hem and haw and act like assholes. Once they decided they wanted to go a certain route, they deserve it. Anyway, so when a court grants a motion to compel, quote, the court must, after giving an opportunity to be heard, require the party or deponent whose conduct necessitates the motion, the party or attorney advising that conduct, or both, to pay movement's reasonable expenses incurred in making the motion, including attorney fees, unless certain circumstances exist. Now, the certain circumstances are that the movement, they filed the motion before attempting in good faith to obtain disclosure or discovery without court action or da-da-da. Nothing that would freaking apply here. So these people should be on the line for monetary sanctions by now. That's what it's stating. Now, another case here states that once a party has responded to a request for production, it must supplement its disclosure, quote, in a timely manner if the party learns that in some material respect, the disclosure or response is incomplete or incorrect, and if the additional corrective information has not otherwise been made known to the other parties during the discovery process. Now, Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 26E1A, it does not sanction late disclosure for late disclosure's sake, nor is it a license to sandbag the opposing party with reams of pertinent information on the eve of summary judgment. Simply stated, World 26E is not, nor has ever been, carte blanche to ignore court-imposed deadlines. Yet, with the discovery deadline just 3 days away, so they had the discovery line looming right there. They were supposed to come off stuff. Defendants' delays seem calculated to sandbag plaintiff in hopes there will be no extensions, especially those regarding summary judgment. The court should compel the defendants to review each of the plaintiff's document requests, to perform a complete and thorough search for responsive documents, including social media, emails, and faxes, to provide responsive documents to the plaintiff, and upon completion and discovery, to certify to the court that they have responded fully to all document requests, that no other responsive documents exist at the time of certification. Now, the argument. 1, the court should compel the defendants to detail their preservation efforts to date. So they need to tell the court, hey, how did you do this? To date, the defendants, personally or via counsel, have not articulated any specific steps that they have made to preserve, whether they know or reasonably should have known, what is relevant in the action, what is reasonably calculated to lead to discovery or admissible evidence, what is reasonably likely to be requested during discovery, and or what is the subject of depending discovery requests. Now, again, you have C. Notes Rule 26 imposes an implicit duty to preserve relevant documents and records. Again, they're supposed to be preserving shit. They know that. A district court has broad discretion in managing discovery and handling disputes. Here, the defendant's responses are completely inadequate. This is because defendant's responses to plaintiff's document requests have been incomplete and its objections to production are now waived. Defendants refuse to engage in search for or produce any materials responsive to the first set of requests for productions. Defendants must, but if failed to, search for or produce all records in their possession, custody, or control, which the law defines as those that the right, authority, or practical ability to obtain. Now, again, they're supposed to come off documentation. That would make sense, right? Now, again, you have here where the 11th Circuit has held that for purposes of Rule 34, quote, control is defined not only as possession, but as the legal right to obtain the documents requested upon demand. Now, other cases in this district involving sibling companies extend quote-unquote control to include situations where a litigant has the practical ability to obtain materials. They note, control does not require that a party have legal ownership or actual physical possession of the documented issue, but merely requires that the party has the right authority or practical ability to obtain the material sought on demand. Inter alia, as far as their GPS records, phone records, mobile phone records, the defendant merely responds there is no document in control or custody, without acknowledging this, number one, their legal right to obtain the documents requested upon demand from vendors. Again, they're saying phone records, we don't have that. That's bullshit. That's a bullshit answer, and they know it. They absolutely know it. Yes, indeed, the cat lady says, aka cat lady says, they destroyed evidence. Yes, they did. They admittedly destroyed evidence. They admitted it. There are screenshots of it. And again, Jeremy Hale has it because he posted one of them. I mean, they talked about destroying evidence. They post about this stuff online. It amazes me sometimes. I'm like, are you kidding? Did they really just post that? Yes, they did. They absolutely did post that. It's, oh my God. Some days I'm like, you've got to be kidding. This can't be real, can it? Like, there's no way they posted that. But they do. They post all this just crazy shit. I mean, they lie about mailing. They lie and say that they've, you have certain people out there that lie about have they ever had any communications? Have they ever tried to mail? No. They lie about stuff like that. They lie all the time. That's the one thing. Here's a message where she talks about that. Check this out. We'll go back to this. But she notes this was posted on Facebook. You can see them discussing this. Mo Magic, if I got them months ago, they are gone. I ran out of space and wiped my emails. Now she's in the middle of a freaking lawsuit and knows this is bad. 2L must have said something because she's like, I heard you, Lisa. I was just explaining what happened to my dang emails. Stupid storage cloud crap. I'm sorry. But she admitted that she did not take the effort to preserve. She destroyed her emails. She admitted this publicly. These people are so stupid that they talk about this stuff publicly. Like, why would you think you would get away with this shit? Probably because they've never had consequences for their behavior. But I mean, to brag about this stuff openly, like, it is quite insane to watch. I've never seen anything like this. They're flaunting the fact that they not only didn't comply, but they are not going to comply. But nor defendants, nor can they claim to obtaining records. So this was about, can they get these records? It's talking about phone records, for example. They can reach out to the vendor and get them easily. They're supposed to. They can get them from the provider without providing any basis for the refusal to produce. They didn't give a reason for it. They just said they don't exist. Plaintiff does not need to perform defendant's discovery duties to obtain responsive information that is reasonably excessive to them. They're supposed to do that. Defendants should not be exempt from discovery obligations of searching for and producing all materials in their possession, custody, or control as defined by the 11th Circuit. Defendants should therefore be ordered to provide the court with a declaration that details all efforts used to communicate about Any materials responsive to any of plaintiff's requests for production, including but not limited to specific email accounts, text messages, message applications, social media devices, hardware, etc. 2, the court should compel defendants to respond to plaintiff's second set of requests for production and grant plaintiff additional relief and sanctions. So, defendant filed this motion only after 1, attempting in good faith to obtain disclosure of discovery without court action, sent 2 deficiency letters, participated in a 90-minute discovery phone conference, all of which provided defendant additional opportunity to cure deficiencies. Yet since being served with that first set of requests for production, defendants have been unwavering in their resistance to participate in even the most basic discovery and must pay for plaintiff's effort to compel defendant's participation. All of these so-called lawyers out there, regardless of their status, they know that this is bullshit too. They know 100% that what they're doing is bullshit. If this was somebody that they were facing off against, all these ecosystem weirdos, they would 100% have a problem with it. But they endorse it because, well, some of them get paid for the privilege. Other ones, well, again, I'll let you decide, you know. When people have back-end deals and other stuff, well, yeah, like I said, you decide why they do things. It's absolutely crazy, though, I have to say. Oh, what a bunch of nuts, man. It blows my mind sometimes seeing this. 1 second. Get me a Frosty. I want a Frosty. I've been trying to eat better and stuff, but today, man, my sinus and stuff, I'm like, I want a Frosty, please. Now, the court should not preclude defendants from relying on any evidence not provided in their initial disclosure, or rather should preclude defendants from relying on any evidence. So, the court should preclude defendants from relying on witnesses or information not provided in their initial disclosures. Quote, if a party fails to provide information or identify a witness as required by Rule 26A or E, the party is not allowed to use that information or witness to supply evidence on a motion at a hearing, trial, unless the failure was substantially justified or is harmless. That means the defendants should not be allowed to testify about conversations which occurred with anyone whom they did not list in their initial disclosures. That could be a big problem with them. They should disclose stuff simply because if things come up and it gets discussed, how do they defend it? They can't. You know, when Jeremy Hale can provide the information that this happened and they refuse to come off of anything, that is a problem. It is a big problem. So crazy. So the court should impose additional sanctions as it deems appropriate because defendant's conduct or lack thereof during discovery has prejudiced plaintiff. So plaintiff has incurred significant time and expense conferring with defense counsel. Yes, cost, including lengthy deficiency letter over the course of the last few months. In response, defendants have delayed and obfuscated at every turn. So much that the defendants were essentially given until March the 4th to respond to the plaintiff's first set of requests for production, which were served November 2024. In other words, something which should have been produced in December, that should be 2024, was not ultimately produced until March 2025 due to defendants' many delays, requests for quote-unquote clarification, which included a motion for reconsideration, which was denied, of the court's order granting plaintiffs. No, got a little shortness. Hey, girl, what you doing? Come here. Hey, I like your dress. It's very cute. It's very cute. You want to tell people Happy Father's Day?
Happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
Only if they're a boy.
Only if they're a boy?
Yeah, because boys are fathers.
Yeah, sometimes people, they may not have a daddy, though. Maybe their mamas or somebody, they do everything. So for them, too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But Mother's Day is nice.
Yeah, well, some people only have a daddy. So on Mother's Day, their daddy does all that, too. You understand? So sometimes it can be both. But you're right, too. I understand what you're saying. Give me 5.
Yeah, because it's Father's Day. It's
That's
just
right.
a mom. It's just a mom, but it's Father's Day, so it's just for the fathers.
I see. Are you having a good day so far?
Yeah, look at my back.
Oh, man, you got your hair all up in a ponytail. It's very cute.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, look at this. Come here.
Money for me.
Yeah, that's for you. How much is that?
$5.
Can you say thank you, Vanessa?
I thank you.
She's wound up here. Yay, welcome. Welcome to you. It says go to Five Below soon.
The
Yeah.
$5, the $5
Yeah.
gift cards.
Yeah, you've got a gift card for there, too. She's got a gift card. She's waiting on it.
There's 2 gift cards.
What?
There's 2.
There's 70 gift cards. No, I'm just kidding. There's not 70.
It's 2.
2? Oh, my goodness.
Is that money for me? $2.
Yep, that's
$10.
Dwayne. That's it. That's right. You read that good. $10. Yeah, that's Dwayne. Can you say thank you, Dwayne?
Take it away.
Hey, he was wondering, could you be his lawyer? You think you could be a lawyer? Can you say this here? I'll check this out. Say, I object, Your Honor.
I checked the honor.
That's right. Say, I object.
Yeah, cause
Yeah, you say it up. My client is innocent.
yeah.
Can you say it that way? My client is innocent.
My client said he said.
There we go. Perfect. How could you ever lose with that one? Right?
Yeah.
That's right. You'd be the greatest lawyer ever, right?
Yeah.
That's right. I'd be the best lawyer ever.
Yeah, and a cute baby.
Oh, yeah, and a cute one, too. That's right.
Cause I am cute.
Yeah, you are indeed. You know it, too. That's the funniest
Money,
thing.
money, money.
Hey, that's the... What's that number?
2.
There's a 2. That's the floofy cat.
Thank you, Floopy Cat.
It says, the overlords, they greet you. They're greeting you. They're saying hi. You want to say hi back?
Hi.
Yeah, can you say, not guilty, Your Honor?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
That's right.
Why are you laughing?
Because you're the best lawyer ever. You know?
The Floopy Cat.
Yeah, floofy cat. You like that name. I know you do.
Yeah, in
She was saying that the other day. The floofy cat.
the
you know?
Floopy Cat, the Floopy Cat, the Floopy
The
Cat.
floofy cat.
I do like Floopy Cat.
The floofy cat.
I can't wait for the 5 days for your hand to heal. How are you doing today, Dad? The
Whoops.
Floopy Cat.
I had my favorite story about that. you accidentally got hidden. so I saw Megan was messing with looking at comments and stuff and accidentally hid you. I hid you there. I was looking at the chat. That happens sometimes. If anybody, by the way, if you ever get hidden or something on accident, it can happen. I've done that with I've had my phone in my pocket and banned 3 people one time. Yeah. Hey, you want to go upstairs for a little while so I can keep going? I go through my documents. You go have fun for a little while, okay? That way I can finish up and we watch some TV later.
I go listen to you live stream on my phone.
You are? Okay, well, go listen to it. All right. Close the door for me, okay? Be careful on the steps. Love you. Okay. Howard the Clown, you got your cake. Woo! Get that cake on. Get your cake on. Get your cake on. Yeah, well, I have my favorites. Like I said, that was here. I know a way to fix that, actually. Here we go. Check this out. Boom. Give me a second. Now, you can never accidentally be mad. Boom. You know, I used to, with wrenches, by the way, I used to give everybody a wrench. I give everybody one. And then one day I had some weirdo decide to go nuts and start trying to ban everybody with a wrench. Because so I was like, well, can't do that. So I had to stop that. Otherwise, I would have everybody with the ability, that's here to handle the daily stupid. But you can imagine like what one of these ecosystem clowns would do if they had that power. But that fixes it there. Don't go crazy. You now have the power of the wrench. Okay, here we go. Let's see, where were we? All right, so denied first deficiency letter shows. That's where we were. Plaintiff does not wish to depose defendants without their having complied with discovery because responsive materials must exist and must be produced. For their conduct, plaintiff respectfully submits the court should exercise its inherent power and broad discretion to order contempt, citations, fines, awards for fees, etc., etc., etc. For example, plaintiff respectfully suggests, while deferring to the court's discretion of what sanctions are appropriate, the court could preclude defendants from relying on any documentation or any testimony relevant to such documentation that plaintiffs have requested, but which has not been produced. Now, recently, in an attempt filing a motion for summary judgment during the recent stay of the case, documents were attached which were never produced by defendants and are responsive. Look, this is amazing. I wanted you to catch this here, okay? So remember when John Cook filed the document, which pissed off Bruce, apparently. This was Bruce's master stroke. He was going to have a summary judgment request, right? Well, here was one little problem. Everything that was attached to that, none of it had been turned over. We were still in discovery, which these clowns in the ecosystem are so stupid. They've been telling people that discovery had ended, and it hadn't. It is not over. It wasn't. But he screwed up to the point that he not only gave away their game plan, he gave away the fact that they've been communicating with whatnot over and over. By the way, interestingly, Bruce has bragged about that in chats at other times. Somebody found him bragging about that a couple of months ago, how he'd been on the phone with whatnot. So it's interesting because somebody was asking him about trying to get them to stop selling things. He was like, oh, well, I just got off the phone with him. And it's like, wait a minute, you were trying to interfere with his business to keep him from selling stuff? Really? You admitted that in chat? Holy shit. But all that stuff that they put in, yeah, they didn't turn over. So any communications, all this stuff that they should be making available to the other party, they haven't at all. Accordingly, plaintiff requests an extension, discovery deadline 45 days, to allow for the position of defendants and expert witness discovery. So for conclusion, again, they want to compel the defendants to collect, search, and produce everything that's been asked for. They want to compel, and they give, okay, so specifically detailing this, perform specifically for materials responsive to the RFPs within 15 days of the court's order and to bear related costs. Compel defendants to file a declaration subject to penalty of perjury, requiring defendants to detail to the court within 5 days of the court order all efforts to preserve, collect, and search for everything there. A complete list of locations and data that defendants use to communicate about any materials responsive to any plaintiff's request for production, including but not limited to vendors, email accounts, text messages, messaging apps, social media devices, hardware. You notice, by the way, remember when Paint Chip sent out his crazy fucking email? You remember that one? Where he was talking about, he had to add in some crazy stuff about little kids and things. You notice all of that, it pops up when they have something that is meaningful that would probably need to be obscured, because they haven't done something they're supposed to. Isn't that interesting how that happens? So to preclude them from relying on evidence not produced in initial disclosure, preclude them from relying on any documents or testimony relevant to such document a plaintiff has requested but they didn't produce, awarding costs, extending the discovery deadline 45 days, again, allowing depositions, and et cetera, et cetera. And then they have this, interestingly, the judge was like, you got to redo it because of the, with this setup, he wanted communications with both parties. He was saying essentially there was no proof of communication with both parties. It looks like he didn't look at the document that if you read it, it breaks up the parties. There's one party in one party in the other. And it addresses them both singularly. But on top of that, you have John Cook admitting that he had communication with them. So, whoopsie, that argument goes right out the window too. So they're going to refile this. I'm sure, anytime. It's funny how many things got knocked down by OBBB. Anytime that happened, they're like, oh, it's okay. It's just normal. but if something happens with Jeremy, they're like, oh my God, Oh, so he did refile it, by the way, looking at the thing. By the way, thanks, MaxLab. He did refile it. He refiled it as 152. Okay. So thank you, MaxLab. I didn't look on Friday. I should have looked on Friday. That's my bad. So I'm glad you did that. I actually noted that. So MaxLab mailed and noted he did refile it as number 152. It's the same document. It's just refiled with the certification on the end. I cannot believe, by the way, can you believe like the ecosystem? They all came out at the same time with Fed Case 2. And people who are not supposed to be communicating together, by the way, they are not actively communicating or doing any of this stuff, right? They all get together at the same time and they say, hey, Ray shouldn't be added to this case. I was like, wait a minute. Why are there multiple people doing something when you guys say you don't communicate or anything? Isn't that bizarre? Hold on for a second. I've been trying something. I've been trying one of those, those boost oxygen things? Have you ever used one of those? Those little mountain climbing, hiking things? I've been trying those in my day, here and there. Anytime I run those, since I've been having problems, part of the body problem is the production of oxygen. I thought, while I'm waiting around for something to get fixed, maybe we'd see if that helps. And you know what? It seems to a little bit. It's kind of fascinating. Let's see. Looking at a couple of things. Yeah, the destruction of evidence, though. Like it's wild that they would go out of their way and try to destroy evidence. I can't believe, they did. Like I said, they posted about it. I've never seen people be so blatant. Let's go over some super chats. So Christine kicking it off. Thanks for the 5 there. Happy Father's Day, Tug. Hope you've had a great day. Oh, wait. I want to cover one other thing. My bad. Wait, I forgot to cover something. So Jay here, actually, now I'm not going to pull this up on the screen, but I do want to note this. He yesterday said that he had gotten a crazy, like nasty letter from Yale Paint Chips, And he does. He writes some gross stuff to people. He's just a foul little man. He is a foul little person. He thinks that somehow makes up for the fact that there's no substance to what he does. If you're just gross enough, if you're rude enough, if you're douchey enough, maybe, just maybe, you'll scare off people. But it hasn't. That actually hasn't worked. It's actually motivated people. He has gone out of his way to target people like, again, Rosalind Duke, for example. If you go and look at some of the pictures, Megan Fox, if you look at this stuff, he'll put I'm going to say adult toys around people, try to put them in their mouths. Or, I mean, it's just, if he was a second or fourth grader or something, maybe that would work as some kind of gotcha. But now all he's done, like I said, is motivate people to get involved in something otherwise they might not be as motivated to dig into. I've found that to be really interesting. But in this attack, give me a minute. He decided that he would go after, first of all, what it all boils down to. What triggered this is there's a certain account out there that they don't like. A certain account, they can't figure out who it is. Certain Mary. They've been trying to figure out who this account belongs to. And they've been doing it in such a terrible fashion. They decided, though, that they would run some things through AI, and they would somehow, they would deduce that that an account, again, they can't figure out who controls. They would say, just Jay Hip. He's somehow the person behind said account. Now, it's a terrible guess, by the way. You can tell that as far as accounts are concerned with that, we're talking about Mary Lincoln's, by the way. That Jay Hip, I'm going to say with certainty that Mary Lincoln's is not Jay Hip. There's just no way. Speech patterns aren't right. As far as we're not just talking about, again, I'm not talking about what you hear someone say because you can change it. I'm talking about what they say on the fly, what they type on the fly. It doesn't work. It's not him at all. But there's been the guesswork at that, And there's a letter. So this exchange goes like this. You have just Jay Hip say, "Good evening, Vomit and Nick Blickman. I hope you boys are doing well this evening. I caught a segment of your Terrible as Always show today. You really showed off the investigative portion of your journalism. You unmasked the true identity of Mary Lincoln's. Oh, boys, do you really think that walnut-sized brain here could be such a complex individual as Mary Lincoln's? Every new step of failure you achieve, I have to applaud more and more. I would encourage you to continue down the path that you're currently on. This is going to lead to some real pay dirt at the end of the day. What an enjoyable car wreck you boys are to watch. I have to go now, but I just wanted to drop off a little bit of encouragement. Keep up the hard-hitting journalism, and I'll continue on doing what I do. Oh, yeah, I see Ellipse is filling a goofy timeline of nonsense. You may want to rein that one in just a bit, IMO. Now, as responses come in, of course, you're going to have, you're always going to have some kind of rudeness come in, that throws in with it. So, of course, Fat Boy, he writes back and he says, "Learn to read, F face," F face. Rhymes with a duck. It's like, wow, for a journalist, man, what articulation. Oh my God, he's so articulate. So it gets written back. It's, "Good morning, Dick Linkman. I'm trying to learn to read, but the link you sent does not seem to work. Maybe you have another link you could send me. Looks like you failed again at even sending me a link. It just says account suspended is all. Just wanted to give you a heads up on that, champ." So he referred him over to his X account, his Twitter account, and it's been banned. And Jay was like, the account you just tried to send me to, that's been banned. Maybe you should try harder. You even failed at that one. Let's try again. So, Apparently, little fat man got really mad about that. And here's what he had to reply. He's like, no, you pear-headed a-hole. New strategy. You're blocked. Your entire echo chamber is blocked as I identify you. I will broadcast the truth to the masses while you tell lies in your bubble. Every chance I get, I will disparage you. you think, oh my God, you think Just Jay is gonna be like, oh no, little fat man, little prison shoe toy. He's gonna hurt me. Oh no. Oh my Lord. I will disparage you. Those articles will be back up next week to a wider audience. Oh my God. I'm actually getting my balls. This is what he says. This gross. Fondled this entire week. It's like gross. I mean, you know, again, I don't know. Do you have a little time you had to spend behind bars again or something? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's happening there. I know about his proclivity for prison love, so maybe that's what he's telling us about. And I won't be thinking about your grotesque barehead horsefacer stupidity. You won't say anything to me because you're blocked. Have fun in your bubble. I was like, gross. Not only that, but he tags in all of his loser little pals. And you can tell what I love about this is I love seeing who they communicate with. But typically, paint chips and Dark Touch, they blank carbon copy. But apparently this got to him enough that he CC'd everyone that you could see it out there. And this has, of course, his little buddy that he streams with all the time, of course. But also Bruce Manskin, always front and center. You have Legally Lips, of course. Ray the Boner Crusher, of course. 2 L's. And Stupid Dave. So, if you ever want to know front and center who the ecosystem is, who all these little conspirators are together, they like to give them away over and over again. It's amazing. He's calling for backup too. Basically, he's like, oh my God, please get in here and help me handle J-Hip. Destroy him, please. It's so weird and gross. They do not like it when they get any kind of challenge there. But Just J-Hip will be talking about some stuff Wednesdays. I look forward to hearing the responsiveness to all the stupid that we've had. Again, with timeline and more. I would say don't fill in the timeline though. You know, do not fill it all in. Because again, if they want to go to court, don't correct their stupid. Laugh at it a little bit. I've laughed at certain pieces that are there that point out their lie. And also you have to remember they already filed it. If they go back and they try to change it, you'll be like, look, they keep just changing this. What happened to this one? What happened to that one? Oh, they just keep making up stories. Isn't that interesting? That's why they'll never serve people. They just want to make a name off of harassing folks and then pretending to be a victim. I'm the victim here. No. So let's hit some super chats. I thought that one would be good to read though. So, Christine, thank you for the fun there. Happy Father's Day, Tug. Hope you have a great one. I have so far today. It's been pretty good. Thank you. Max Lab, thanks for the super chat there. I appreciate Max Lab too. Give Max some love. Like I said, Max Lab corrected the fact I did not check Friday to see if any documentation went in, and that 152 went in. So I do appreciate them pointing that out. Isn't it crazy? We're up to 152 documents on this. We're over 60 with the other two. Nuts. Sherry, thanks for 3 months there. Hello all. Thank you for the free membership last night. I love me some Tug. Well, thank you for that. Yes, and I love memberships. That's why, people, they end up landing on folks. I love that freaking Muppet, by the way. I really do. I like it. Fallen Hero. Thank you for the gifted membership too. Thank you, Fallen Hero. Oh, by the way, they have also, so Lips has got a new conspiracy where she's saying that all the puppets, they have somehow been created and are controlled by Jeremy Hales. Listen to this quote. Person who will truly be in a pickle is Hales for allowing, he's talking about the quote unquote fan group, because the loopy here wants to say that he somehow controls that group, such an idiot. This hate group under his quote unquote logo, knowing about it, and when Facebook records are subpoenaed, we will see who is laughing. You ain't subpoenaing shit. You're doing nothing. All that will do is note that you've been using like 1,000 sock accounts out there. I mean, seriously, what a Fruit Loop, man. We know Hales. By the way, there's a we. Are you talking about the we in your head? Because you use a lot of sock accounts. Are you talking about your conspirator buddies? We know Hales is behind this. And the Muppets. Dun, dun, dun. I told you the Muppets work, when we talked about that. Somebody hates the Muppets. They like to pretend that they're not bothering them, but they hate the freaking Muppets. I love it. I absolutely do. I hate the Muppets. Oh my God. They're just in my head. Oh, Lord. Just wait. Much evidence, much strategy that will bring justice. And all those who participated have fun. Just saying. Oh my God, what a Fruit Loop, man. Yeah. Oh, you gotta love that, don't you? You forgot all about that. Oh, good times, fun times. Oh, but love to you, Fallen Hero. I don't know why I thought of that, but it just popped up in my head every time about it. Emma, thanks for the 2 there. Happy Dad's Day. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate it very much. The Floofy, thanks for the 2. The Floofy ones, which tug a happy Dad Day. Well, thank you. And much love returned to the Floofy. Dwayne Rapp, thanks for the 5 tug. Is that just sock puppets? You like that? I like the sock puppets. All the sock puppets tonight. Dun, 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 dun. You know what was really funny, by the way? Lips had this crazy live stream the other day. And while she was having her little meltdown on it, she kept moving around enough that, she uses a visual filter when she's broadcasting. And it kind of slipped. And you could see underneath, oh my God, man. It's wild. It is wild to see it slip. It was something else. Oh, y'all love it. I have my favorites. Thank you for the 2 there. Happy Father's Day, Tug, and Fathers in the chat. Thank you. And like I said, too, again, I'm my favorites. Apologies for if anybody ever does accidentally get a timeout or a ban, if you write me, again, I've done that before. And the mods, sometimes you can do that. Here's one of the problems with a wrench. You can put your phone in your pocket, or you can be like on my chat on my phone. If I tap on something to go read it, it brings up a little display with it. And all I have to do is tap it again on accident, and I can ban somebody. So it's like, whoops. I did that one time. Like I said, I put my phone, I was listening to it, and I put my phone in my pocket. I didn't have the lock engaged. I just set it in there, and I banned 3 people while walking around. It's like, oh no, what am I chose on the channel? But still, what a mess. But hey, I have my favorites. Love to you, my friend. Appreciate you. S. Sean, thanks for the 10. Happy Father's Day, Tug. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you, S. Sean. I like that freaking, that dog there too. I like that. Wheat toast. Man, look at that wheat toast muffin. That's freaking hilarious too. I love that wheat toast. Thank you for the gifted memberships too. That looks great. I love it. Suzanne dropped a gifted membership as well. Thank you, Suzanne. I appreciate that. Man, I really love y'all's Muppets. That's a great looking one, too. I love the glass frames and everything. I just love the way it looks. Linda Lou, thanks for the 3 months. They're desperate for money. Judge Davis, a very strict judge. They better show up. He wasn't happy last time. Yeah, that stuff again, you know, with the health mess. I mean, again, one of the problems they're really having, I think, isn't just the, oh my God, look, there's a health problem like this. The problem is that they have pulled this for 4 months now. They continue to do this. Anytime you're talking about moving forward, they continue to play this game. And sooner or later, you will have a decision. You know, I would request, like I said, I would request that there be a default judgment in my favor. Because they can play this game to a certain point. But what they're going to do is run out of a road to delay on. I wouldn't let them delay anymore. I would push hard to make sure, because it's them trying to game. What they're trying to do, you know, Bruce even said this. He said that his plan was to try to bring a case forward that would have this stuff. So, you know, he could kick that sanctions can down the road. They hope that if they kick it down farther enough, they got themselves in a real bind, though, when they brought these cases. You know, it not only caused them issues there, but it'll cause them issues down the road, too, because what it makes them look like is vexatious litigants. You know, anytime that if I went before a judge with this stuff, anything, like if they try to bring me in another case, I would definitely bring up the fact that they have been vexatious to the point that they have opened multiple cases. They tried to close them down. They've tried to bring counterclaims. They've tried to shut them down. They've brought protective order. They've tried to shut it down. I mean, they're to the point. You only get so many shots at before you become a vexatious litigant. And they're right there, you know, got a problem. But that would be my claim. I'd be like, look, you know, this is garbage. And it's retaliatory garbage. You've got somebody out there that has done some pretty awful stuff. They've been found guilty again. The protective order. They're talking about how they're going to knock that down anymore. It's just nuts. So, yeah, I agree with you. Rick, thank you for the 9 months there, man. Having a Muppet baby, Rick. Rick friend. You're going to be a +1. 9 months, man. That's awesome. Thank you. Tammy, thanks for the month there. Thanks for being so welcoming. Hey, Tammy, glad to have you here, by the way. Yeah, people are great, chat-wise and stuff. And for like myself, Megan, we just want to have fun, you know. So I'm glad to have y'all on board. And again, with this stuff too, I don't care. You know, there are a couple of accounts out there that I recognize that I know disagree on the fundamentals of the case. Well, just a minute, I got a writer. What's up?
What's up?
What are you doing? What you doing?
Watching TV.
Watch TV. Give me my 5s. I need a 5. Ooh, that was good 5s. Give me all the 5s you got. Oh my goodness. How many 5s do you have? 5 million?
Yeah.
Good Lord. How many 5s? That is, you've been carrying all that around? Man,
yeah.
You probably feel lighter now.
No, because I have a bunch more.
Oh my goodness, a bunch more.
I have a bunch. I have a bunch.
I get that. I get that opinion. Look at all the hearts, by the way. You see all those yellow hearts?
Yeah, those are for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my second favorite color is pink, so.
Yeah, you like the pink with that too? So you got pink hearts too with it? Well, that's beautiful,
yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. That's great. All right. Well, anyway, hey, I need to go run through these though. So give me your 5s. There you go. All right, now go have fun. Go upstairs for a little bit, okay?
I still have more. I still have more.
Yep, well, you can give them to me later, okay?
Well, if I give you all the kisses, I'll have 10 million of those.
You give me, oh, you got 10 million kisses too? Well, I definitely want a kiss. Give me one right here on my cheek. Yeah, right here. Oh, come here. Give me a roll. Mwah, around my cheek. Oh, one more. Wow, that's nice. Oh my goodness. Oh no, I'm being attacked. Somebody's got 10 million cheek kisses. All
I'm
right.
going crazy.
You're going crazy. Oh no. Hey, what is that? What is?
One.
Yeah, that is a 1 and a what?
And 9.
That's right. That would be $19.99. That's $20. Whoa. Oh gosh. That's funny. That's Janice. Can you say thank you, Janice? She's running around. She's a ball of energy today. She went to church and got to make crafts, and they
I made them for my dad.
at-
I just wanted
at
one
church
and
they
I
gave
for
her
my dad.
candy. It's like, oh no. So
Money.
oh, no.
$10.
Oh man, look, here's Dwayne. Yeah, that's $10. Dwayne said, "Oh no, hey Tug, don't hurt my lawyer. You're his lawyer because you're the best lawyer on the planet."
Yeah.
That's right. I said, yeah. The fist pump. That's funny. She went,
Thank you
yes.
for the money too.
Oh, how much is that?
$5.
Yeah, that's Liz. Can you say thank you, Liz, too?
Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Liz. Thank you,
That's a
Liz.
fruit
Thank you,
fund. Hey, what's your favorite fruit?
Liz. Favorite fruit?
Yeah, what's your favorite kind of fruit?
An apple.
You like apples? Yeah. You like nanas?
Yeah.
Yeah. of
I like
course.
oranges too.
You do, yeah. You eat up. Actually, I never told them this though. We do buy a lot of bananas and stuff too, don't we?
Yeah, and I love oranges. You better buy some.
Yeah. We've got grapes. Did you see those?
Yeah, I tried one last night.
Did you like them? They were good. I
Yeah.
thought they were good grapes. You know?
They were good.
Yeah. There's plums up there. I don't know if you like a plum. No. They'll look at their face. Ew.
Shut up!
That's the floofy cat.
I'm gonna say.
The floofy cat. You say thank you?
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Said you have the zoomies. Do you have the
Thank you.
zoomies? Is that what that
Thank
is?
you.
You have the zoomies? Is that what that is? Where you're running back and forth? Yeah.
Thank you,
So like,
thank
yeah.
you. Thank you, thank you.
All right. Hey, come here. Give me a hug for real. I gotta go. I gotta finish up my
I have
stuff. Okay?
so many hugs. I have 10 million.
I know. You can give me the hugs. I like them too. Thank you.
Hey,
All right. Go upstairs though. Right for real.
if there's any more money for me.
I will tell you. I will definitely tell you.
I need pockets. I want to be driven.
You have pockets. What? You want what?
Pockets to be driven.
To be what?
Shoving.
Shoving?
Shoving swanky.
Oh.
I
Okay.
tried to be driven, but
Okay.
that's the way. I love you.
Love you too. But hey, I gotta go through this stuff for real. Okay.
You always send me around.
Yeah. I saw you spin around.
You better. What are you saying?
You gotta go upstairs though. Okay.
What's this?
Because I gotta read this stuff. That? I don't know. Oh, that's a top of one of the bottle things.
I really want Cowboy orange juice.
You kidding me? Ask Sissy to get you a cup of it if you can't get it out. Okay.
What
It's
about
in there.
of your orange juices that you have?
I don't have an orange juice down here. What are you talking? Oh, you talking about the orange drink?
Yeah.
There's that thing right there. No, right here. Hey, on the little table thing right there.
Have it?
Yes. Take it upstairs though.
Thanks.
Good.
Love you.
Love you too. You take it that
My
way.
cross was out here all day.
Do what?
My mom's around here all day.
Yeah, I saw your Crocs down.
Have a good day.
You too. Have a good day.
Love you. Have a good day.
Love you too, baby.
And say have a good day.
And have a good day too. Yeah. All right, Tammy. Thank you. I appreciate it, by the way. Do what?
Walk up the steps.
Okay.
You gotta talk around the sewer.
She's like, you can't talk while I'm walking on the steps. Oh, what a nut. What a nut. Jack's mom, thanks for doing. Tug, what did you use to get the socks to move? I used, there is a program or a site called, give me 1 second. I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's like Preply or something. Trying to remember. I'd have to look it up. I think it's called Preply. I think that's what I use. But I have to check. I think that's the right one. Give me a chance to look it up and remind me, and I'll let you know. Or drop me a one-line email or something, being like, "Hey, what was that site?" And after I look, because I'll have to look when I'm not on here. I'll have to be able to pull it up. I just can't remember right off the top of the head, but I think it's like pre-ply or something like that. Like I said, I'll have to look. Thank you too. Liz, thanks for the fun there. Happy Father's Day, Tevin. Thank you. I appreciate it. The little one is wild today. She's she had a church out, and she gets running and stuff, and it didn't tire her out. It got her excitable and worked up. I love it. Oh, that's so fun. X-Files Inc. I also love X-Files, by the way. I need to do a rewatch of X-Files. I haven't in a while. I just rewatched all the Breaking Bad stuff. I know that's not X-Files. Well, I mean, you can make the connection because of showrunner and of course Walter White, pre-Walter White. But I just rewatched all of Breaking Bad stuff. That was fun. That was a good rewatch. I went through Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, El Camino, all that. It was pretty good. Liz, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you for that, Liz, by the way. Much appreciated. Max Lab pointed out the Doc 152. Thank you for that, by the way, Max Lab. I appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, I didn't check the docket Friday. I typically do, but I don't remember what I was doing Friday. Something distracted me. I'm glad you noted that. Hey, it's me. Thanks for the 5. I'm behind because of the Karen Reed trial. Sorry about that, but I'll try to comprehend. Love you, Ty. Hey, it's all right. This is a complex mess. And it will continue to go on for a while. Even after the Fed case, it will go on because these people, they have no intent to stop. They just keep gathering crazy. They keep recruiting. They have now recruited some other crazy too. I'm trying to decide whether I want to bring them up or not. Some people are just so nasty that you almost, you weigh whether or not you want to even acknowledge their presence. But there's this line that you would expect from somebody when recruiting, and they have gone way beyond it. There's recruiting period is crazy, to actively engage and mailing and trying to get people involved. But then when you're going into folks that some of these people have like just insane records. And to actively try to get them engaged into this is nuts. But hey, it's me. That's cool. Appreciate you. Lisbeth, thanks for the 3 months there. A lot of fundraiser apps. They don't allow the link. Oh, yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, and again, that PayPal stuff is an absolute mess. Like I said, going after somebody that already has a protective order and has been violated multiple times, that's beyond. Just Jay read this, but love to you, buddy. I can't wait for the Wednesday mess to, going over all of this. I think it'll be interesting. Blake Rich, thanks for the month there. Max Lab said, 152. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. One second, I got a call. Man, could you imagine if people actually muted their microphones when coughing? It's a crazy idea, huh? Rickles, thanks for the fun. The BBB PB is way overdue to get whacked. Makes no sense that he has been untouchable so far. It just shows you how deficient the entire court system is. I mean, honestly, they talk about law and order, but lawyers have bad press for a reason. When people talk about ambulance chasers and scumbag lawyers, there's a reason for that. And you get to see some of those glaring examples of it. Now here, just J-Hip again, I pulled this up because it said Wednesday plans to address everything. I think that'll be really fun to watch. So we'll check that out. Stacy, thanks for the 7 months. Again, noted the Doc 152. Appreciate it. In the Clouds, thanks for the 7 months. Thank you for all you do. Check email for the lip song. I saw that in there. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but I will. I definitely will. I have my favorites. Thanks for the 5 giftos there. Thank you very much for those. Again, love gifted memberships. Appreciate those. So many people enjoy them too. So thank you. Lynn, drop 10 there. There's not a statement attached, but again, backing is a statement. Thank you for that. It's much appreciated. Frankie, what's up, Frankie? Like the Muppets. I mean, I love how, some of the Muppets are like real to life. Some of them get flaming. I like that with I'm my favorites. And some are real life. I love how different they are. I love that about it. I just love the Muppet thing. But thank you for the 5 gift dos there too. Appreciate it. Dwayne, what's up, Dwayne with the Timu crew? Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships too. Like I said, I thought that when we went over, it's really funny because when we went over that document, I noticed you weren't here, and I mentioned if you were here, because you were mentioning that very bottom of it. I didn't know if you'd see it or not, so that's why I wanted to point it out today. It's like, man, I gotta point that out to Wayne. It's always funny when you pop up in a document, especially when there's no reason for it. Like there's no reason for you to be in that document whatsoever, but you're there. And it's kind of funny. And this person's an absolute Fruit Loop. John, thanks for the 5. Hale has produced nothing except verbal diarrhea. That is true. That is very true. It's crazy. And they tell you over and over that they have this case, they have all this proof lined up. Well, why don't they produce any of it? Like, again, they've been asked to produce the proof that they did or didn't do something, and they produce nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Like that by itself says something. The lack of an answer is an answer. And they have done a lot of blah, 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 saying that they were going to, they're going to produce something. They will come off them, but they haven't. They haven't produced anything at all. I got to set up my redirect, by the way. Give me 1 minute here. Tonight, by the way, What the Hales will, of course, have their live stream. Their live streams have been pretty lit, by the way. So you will definitely want to catch tonight. I mean, they've been interesting. I've been having fun with those. They also, it's so bizarre because the hate that these live streams receive, it blows my mind. I was watching the ecosystem responses, just watching them through Facebook. I look at their postings for sure. I look at their patterns where they give away their sock accounts and all this other stuff. And like I said, it's fascinating to watch, but it's fascinating to watch how mad they get about Jeremy Hales and his live streams. So I want to tune into them just for that. But they're also entertaining. Wonder, though. Thank you for the gifted membership. Much appreciated there. Wonder. Appreciate that. Again, just Jay up talking there for the I will destroy. I don't play. Well, I hope to see you drop some elbows, man. That'll be good. Debbie, thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Thugs. Much appreciated there. Thank you, Debbie. And not only you get a membership, but on top of that, you dropped 5 for other people. That is awesome there. Thank you. Again, that is much appreciated. AKA that cat lady. Thanks for the 5 there. Yes, and I agree with this. They destroyed evidence. Randy needs to start making noise to the judge about what they're really doing. And yeah, that's what that document is there. I think, Randy, like I said, I like Randy. But Randy, one thing that you don't ever think will be a problem, but it has been. He's not lowly like these folks have been. He's trying to keep it above board. And they try to use that as a weapon. It's weird when professionalism is a detriment to you. There should never be a case where I can say that a person acts too much like a professional. But there are some of these gutter-welling scumbags. They're that bad. And he is calling it out now, though. And that's good. Wanda, thanks for the 5 there. Happy Father's Day, Tuck. And other fathers, my dad's been gone for 15 years. Still sad and gets to me. It's understandable. First of all, love to you. And I get it. I do. So my stepfather was very close to me. And I still think, man, he had a 1999 Jeep. And I still have that thing in my driveway. I haven't driven it in years. I got asked about 8 months ago about why I'd sell it. And I was like, frankly, as long as I'm alive, that thing, it'll become a planter before I'll sell it. I will move it in my yard and plant flowers in it because of what it symbolizes. It symbolizes good times to me. And the amount of money that I could get for it versus the memories and stuff are attached, the memories are worth more, just to be honest, the person that it reminds me of. So I get it, when I get sad about it or anything though, I like having a visual representation. One of the things that helps with stuff like that, when days are hard, is keeping not just a photograph of somebody around, but a photograph of a certain moment. A moment that really hits you, that makes you smile and makes you, kind of laugh. That way you can remember that person, and it's such a positive. I kind of love that, But yeah, I love to, Wanda. I get you there. Adair, thank you for the 5 giftos there too. What's up, Adair? By the way, Adair, if you want, if you send over a picture, like if you want your cat muppetized, we can do that for you. Yeah. If you, I don't know, like some folks, I get emails. If I missed anybody, by the way, just let me know. With the dare, I always think about your cat though when I see your stuff, and I'm like, man, I want to turn that into a Muppet. I just do for some reason. So let me know if you want that. I will do it for you for sure. If not, your cat's lovely, by the way. I just always like, man, I want to turn the Muppet for some reason. So, Vanessa too. Thank you again. I read that before with the little one, but thank you. MS Coast Life, thanks for that. Thank you for the membership. Tub Thumbs, Mud Dog, by the way. I hope you are doing great. That's awesome. Appreciate you. Dwayne again, thank you. Much appreciated there. Also, DeFlufe, thank you too. Appreciate that. Father's Day too. Art the Clown, you got your cake. That is awesome. Much appreciated, too. I hope you're having a great day as well. Jane, thanks for the candy money. I don't know if I can't remember if I get to pull that one up then or not. If I did, thank you. But I don't remember. Shout out there. But that's much appreciated. Jada, thanks for the 5 there. As far as Stark and emergencies go, do you think the judge will eventually take action? I don't know. Judges eventually get sick of something, that you don't get to just dismiss something. You don't just get to write it out. You can't file something erroneously, trying to ruin somebody's life and then just be like, oh, I'm too sick to have any kind of blowback. No, that is not justice. They play this game where you're supposed to feel sorry for them. And unfortunately, here's the thing. Like I said, I don't feel any empathy for these people because they wouldn't feel it for me. They went out. I read what Bruce, remember, he was just Bruce's mouthpiece. And people want you to feel sorry for him with that. But he thought he's going to get a payday. He really did. And he was okay. They were all okay with it. But once it got time to write the check instead of cash one, then suddenly I'm supposed to feel empathy for this guy. And I don't feel empathy for them at all. People are like, oh man, well, they were just pawns or patsies. No, they were willing participants in trying to ruin people's lives. And if you read the messages that Bruce, when he's talking about this stuff, like especially when he's talking about like DUI guy, holy crap, man. He 100% wanted to ruin DUI guy. And he found somebody that was willing to take part in that. And again, if they managed to hurt somebody, they'd be all good with. Now, again, if he wants to come out and talk about some of the stuff that's happened, he wants to, tell you how he got involved. And if he wants to break down and throw Bruce under the bus, well, I'm definitely willing to listen to it and then maybe make a decision. But right now, like I said, I have no empathy for them. All these people play the victim in some way, and many of us have health problems. But you know what? They don't give a damn about ours. They want to be nasty and they want to do harm. So I'm hoping the judge will do something. They get tired of that too. Wildcat, thanks for the 20 there. Much appreciated there. Happy Father's Day. Yes, indeed. Thank you. I appreciate it. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there with love, or the people again who act as fathers. David, thanks for the 2 months. Gotta love the craziness. I do. I love it. I'm addicted to it. I am addicted to the freaking crazy. When I cover it again, there's nothing they can do that will hurt me. You know? So when I'm covering this stuff, it doesn't bother me. They can point whatever my way. None of it bothers me. I'm addicted to watching their stupid. But I also like that it might takes the pressure off somebody else too. But you do. You have to love watching how crazy the crazy gets. Is that a blizzard? Oh, thank you. I got a blizzard. Not a frosty. I got a blizzard. Huh. Lindy Lou, thanks for the 5. Happy Father's Day, Tug. His lips like thanks. You should see. Actually, you know what's really funny? So there's a YouTube short. I'm going to tell Megan that we need to show it in the next Rumble exclusive, because oh my God, this YouTube short with her in it, it is bizarre. I mean, it doesn't have the filtering on it. You ever see those people who are like unaware of what they look like or how they appear? That's what she is. She's 100% unaware. She's 100% unaware of how she appears. It is so crazy. If you have not looked at that fan group, I go over there again. I looked at some of that stuff here and there just because that Facebook group, like people for every while that you have to ignore. Don't ever get over there, by the way, and argue with these anonymous accounts, because most of them are the same person. It's the same person posting over and over again while pretending to be other folks. It's so bizarre to me. Oh, by the way, there was another arrest too. So I'm going to remove the face off of the person here because I'm going to be nice about that. But the person that was arrested over on Ye Old Property recently, the one they say, of course, the crackheads that totally don't exist on that property. Well, look at this. There's another arrest. I've redacted name and I redacted the face off of that. I don't have to, but they were dangerous drug. Arrested. Arrested again. Fun times, huh? Oh my God. You have to be kidding me. I'll have to see about that arrest record and see exactly where the arrest happened. This was the person that they were denying lived on the property, even though the police, when you listen to the body cam footage, they were like, yeah, they're on this property. So kind of fascinating. You would think after a while, people would be like, wait a minute, where all these crackheads come from? The Fluted Cat, thanks for the 5. Does Gypsy Lipsy not know that no one controls cats or Muppets? Indeed. You definitely can't control cats. Nor can you control the Muppets. It's funny. They're usually broadcasting something about themselves. When they allege something, have you not noticed that the ecosystem, it's pretty much like they're pointing at themselves? So I get the feeling somebody's over there pulling some strings, huh? Denise, thanks for the 20 there. For Bug, by the way. Thank you. Appreciate that. I remember that one. No, love that. Dwayne, too. I love it. I liked her little not guilties and stuff. That was really funny. Liz also, thank you for the fruit fund. I appreciate that. Yep. And the floofy, appreciate that too. The zoomies indeed. Wanda, thank you for the gifted membership. And at Dare, I sent the picture of the can. Let me see real quick. Give me a second. Let me look at that. Let me pull that up here. I'm not going to pull it up on the screen, but let me pull it up for myself is what I mean. You know, it's not a terrible turnaround for a Muppet. So I should be able to kick you out a Muppet pretty quickly. Oh, yeah. I like your cat, though. I like your cat picture. Gosh, some of these sock puppets are so fun. Oh, you guys sent some crazy pictures, too. I do look at everything you guys send. You know, if you send some over and you don't get a response, that doesn't mean I didn't look at it. I don't have enough time in the day to respond to everything. But I respond to stuff here and there. I would be responding all day, every day if I responded to everything. I would never get done. I used to try to respond to everything. And after a while, I was like, man, I can't respond to everything. Gosh, ChatGPT is so laggy at first. It's this weird thing. I'm blowing out the candles on a little bit of time here. I'm wasting a few minutes. I think we'd hang out for a few before we switch over to Hale's stream. Give me 1 second. I'll show you this a dare before and after. Let me see. Make this cat into a fun, adorable Muppet. Let's see exactly what that becomes. ChatGPT. If you've tried out any of the AI programs that make things. Grok is terrible. Grok is probably the dumbest AI I've ever seen. It gets stuff wrong. It's so bad. Grok is so bad sometimes that it's become a joke. Like people will ask it things just because, again, it gets things so wrong. And it makes some of the worst pictures I've ever seen. But ChatGPT actually does very good with it. Gets stuff wrong too. I can't believe there are people out there that for legal documentation and more, they actually utilize ChatGPT, thinking that it's a good idea. But there have been people that have gotten in big trouble about that too. 1 second, the picture's coming up now. Oh my goodness. What in the world? It makes some funny attempts. Yeah, boy, that's hilarious. I'll have to show y'all the before and after of the kitty here. So check this out. Oh, I just made it. So this was its attempt. I actually like this one. I thought it was funny. So here, this is the before. That's nice. That's adorable. Look, here's the after. That's awesome. Look at that. That's cool, man. You know what's cool is it even gives the underside like a puppet. Look at that. It's even got the where like you would have a Muppet like the control setup. But I like it. Look at that. That's hilarious. I love it. I love that it gave it like a huge expression and everything. It's so good. Oh my Lord, I love that. Yes, I wonder what my Muppet would look like. I don't know. It's like I said, if you send something over, it may take me a few days to get to something because I get flooded with them sometimes. But if you send them over, anybody who sent one over, I've made one for. So if you want a Muppet, I do not mind making them. I just timeliness. Our next live stream is going to be on Megan's channel. So while I'm over there, I usually play around online and goof off. Let's see. But I'm mailing you here Muppets. There you go. I like them. I think they're funny. I think it's funny too that the ecosystem, again, they are having meltdowns about Muppets. I mean, it's amazing. Meanwhile, like Lips has been creating just some of the nastiest freaking pictures and stuff of people for her little AI. But she's mad because people make little sock puppets and put giant lips on them and stuff. She wants to sue you over that. But could you imagine if see, this is why she won't move forward with litigation, because anything that she is alleged, she would be in the jackpot for. The counterclaims against her would be amazing. The Jeremy Hale stuff, man. I kind of hope that she is stupid enough to move forward with Jeremy Hales, because he wants that. You can tell he wants it. He's like, come on, bring it. Let's go. I mean, you see him talking about that in her evidence. That's the amazing thing. Like, she knows she bit off more than she could definitely chew there. And that's why they keep crying and whining about that. You know, they act like they wanted to step her. They act like they wanted some with Hales. They thought he'd be an easy mark, but he hasn't been. And he's gotten to the point. At first, there are certain things they could do that would bother him. Again, when people target your family, that gets to you. It does. But they've done that. They've already played that. So now they're at the point where they're trying to revisit stuff they've already gone over and trying to be like, dun, dun, dun. Meanwhile, some of the stuff that these people have been involved in has not even come to light yet. There's, oh my God, there's some crazy stuff. It needs to be, everything needs to be looked at beforehand, but Angela Quinn, thanks for that 3 there. Appreciate that. Her handwriting changes when crackheads are there. Huh. That's actually an interesting statement. I wonder what that can mean. Yeah, and her handwriting, the whole handwriting thing is so bizarre anyway. We were talking about that the other day. You know, her handwriting has changed up. I know that she did not write anything that had punctuation in it. There is no earthly way that the documentation with punctuation was hers. I've seen her sucking. I realize, again, talks to text and all that, but there's just no way. All right, anyway, we have roughly 7 minutes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to redirect you over to What the Hell. So they start up, and they're pretty timely about starting their live streams. You know, like with mine, to be here. Well, I'm gonna be 8 minutes or more late. Yeah, but with Hales, they're very timely. And with these especially, they're pretty good about having a short live stream. I like how they compact everything from their week into about an hour. And they put on a pretty good show. So go over there, tell them, go rate them, tell them, text. And again, most of you are subscribed there anyway. But if for some reason you're not, go over there, check it out, subscribe, and appreciate you. We'll see you.